Hey guys, it's Ash Silva coming to you live from Toronto. Well, live for me, recorded for you. And you know what? The clock behind me is right. It's past midnight, and it's one of those nights when the challenge is winding down in late October, and I'm just thinking about my challenge. Shooting the final video. What did the challenge mean to me? What did it do for me? And so I'm just caught up in some thought about what happened 90 days ago when I was in Miami. I really didn't know what I was getting into when I went to the big event, Vitality, and 20,000 people jump into the music, and I saw that this was something that I could bring to back to Toronto, bring it back to the people that I knew, not knowing really what I was getting involved in, right? I knew it was about shakes and losing weight, and I didn't quite understand that there's just so much more. And it all starts with making a decision I made to join the challenge. And so 90 days later, I've got to tell you the biggest thing I got from the challenge is not what I initially thought I was getting into the challenge to achieve, to get, to be, to do. And that's just amazing because it's another lesson for me that we don't know what's on the other side of the tunnel. We don't know what's on the other side of climbing that ladder. It starts with taking the first step. And the first step is what I took in Miami. And so, you know what? I got onto this 90-day challenge. I was 209 pounds. I wanted to get down to a six-pack. I've never had a six-pack. A six-pack has always eluded me. Even in high school when I was on the wrestling team, gymnastics, I was into sports, I never had a six-pack. And so the six-pack is something that I attach to being ultimately fit, which I know I can be. And so I embarked on a 90-day challenge to get my six-pack. And the fact that Blake Mallon actually posted that he was going for the six-pack prompted me further. It inspired me to say, okay, let me find a way to get on the stage in November with Blake and then see who's got that six-pack, right? Have a showdown, throwdown, mowdown right on the stage. And so that's what I wanted. And you know what? The funny thing is 90 days. Well, first of all, when we came back from Miami in July, the first 45 days we ran because the business made so much sense. Even though I entered the challenge, it was more about the business. And so we were here, there, all over the place for like 45 days, just killing it. Because my goal was, of course, to do the challenge, which was my six-pack, but it was also, hey, there's a financial side to gaining good momentum and building this business, so let's go ambassador. Now nothing happens when you, until you put something out on the table and say, this is what I believe. As Wayne Gretzky says, we miss 100% of the shots we don't take. And so I said, let's see what will happen on the other side of going for ambassador in my first full month in the business. And so lo and behold, the first fruit of that challenge going for my six-pack was I actually went ambassador in my first month in the business. So, I can't say it was easy work, but if you call driving all over town, doing challenge parties, meeting new people, and enjoying all types of conversation and excitement, work, I don't know. I don't call it work. I call it an adventure. I call it having fun. And so we had a lot of fun. A lot of fun where we were drop dead tired at the end of August when I went ambassador in my first full month in the business. And then there was September, of course. And then September, we actually had an ambassador in our business, which went to prove that it is duplicatable. And so when that happened in our business in the second month, now we've got full momentum. And so the challenge, although we're living that 90 days on the road to six-pack, we're also building the business. We're, doing everything else that comes with promoting the challenge to a lot of people, right? And so on that journey, going to ambassador in the first month, getting an ambassador on the team on the second month, we produced 22 BMWs as part of the challenge in my team. And we, rising star director, a few NDs going to the Hollywood Experience. We've got a presidential, getting the Bahamas experience, and a few other people as well. So that was all well and good. On the road to doing all of that, everybody is joining the company, joining our organization. Why? Because they want the challenge. And naturally, we're leading with whatever we want. In my case, it was the six pack. And so, I've lost over 22 pounds. We've gone from 210 pounds to 188. I mean, I can still chisel a little bit more so that that six pack starts to really get cut. But I'm starting to feel a little bit. I think as I make it to stage in St. Louis to pick up my $25,000 bonus check, I just might, if I find myself, now don't tell Blake this, but if I find myself close enough to Blake, then maybe we could challenge it right there and then if I don't get selected. But if I do, then I'm hoping to be on stage anyhow to do the six-pack challenge and to be there as one of the 100 people chosen and then the 10 people chosen to do something with Ben Silverman, because that again is something I believe I can represent the company well with the fact that I am about the challenge. I'm not just about doing a challenge for the sake of it. We live the challenge. Life is a challenge, all right? And a life is a challenge to be completed and to be enjoyed, and it's about the journey, which is what we do. So, six pack, yes, it's just about there. We still got a few days till St. Louis. It's at the end of October now. We've got, really at the end of it all, we've got the money situation tied up. I've got the physical situation tied up. I've got one of the best people in personal trainers, Daryl Devonish, training me personally so that I can start to sculpt my body. But what's really, 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 really important, what did the challenge do for me? Aside from all of that, aside from paying me a lot, aside from giving me a great, better body, aside from making me find a shirt in my not my closet, but in the shelf that I'd never worn, but I love this blue shirt. And so if you see some of my crazy videos on my channel and I'm wearing this light blue shirt, well, that's a shirt that never fit me because I became a little too big for that shirt, and you can see all the, the bulges through it. But I love that shirt now because it fits me snug, it fits me tight, and it shows off. And if you look at some of my videos working out in the gym on my channel as well, you'll see that shirt fits well. So aside from that, what else has it done to my self-esteem, my self-confidence? You know what, I can probably describe it in two things that have happened as a result of the whole thing and me doing the challenge that I mean the most to me, mean more to me than the $25,000 bonus check, mean more to me than the fleeting six-pack that can come and go because it's about the physical body, right? Versus who we are inside, the heart. And if I was to give you those two things, it would be someone in my organization. I would prefer not to mention her name, but it could be Rena. Rena, if you're listening to this, I'm so inspired by the fact that you called me the other day, just recently, last week, and Rena said, Ash, I wanted to be the first to tell you that I just lost my job. It was the middle of the afternoon sometime, and I said, so what, have they walked you out already? Or are they giving you a week notice? Or, it says, you know what, they walked me out already. I've got the box in my car, and I thought I'd give you a call to let you know I'm out. I'm out of this well-known company here in Toronto. And, the first thing I said to Rena without missing a beat, I said, Rena, congratulations. And without skipping a beat herself, Rena said, Ash, thank you. And although I noticed her crying, it was a cry of sadness, but yet joy and freedom. And that is what the challenge has given me. It's given me the ability to inspire and be inspired by other people who know that their freedom lies on the other side of their own delivery, of their own contribution, of changing the way they do and be and produce and reach out to other people. And so that is the biggest thing that the challenge has really given me. It's not about my body or my own finances, but it's about what is happening outside in the world of contribution. And if I can just bring it down to one final point, the challenge has given me, my mom died about 6 years ago, and my dad has been in a state of depression. He's, doesn't eat and he doesn't do much. But the shakes, I started to put some mango in the shakes and give it to my dad. And he started to drink those shakes. He liked it. He started asking for it. And before you know it, I got lazy and I wasn't putting any mango or raspberry. I just started to shake up the shakes and say, Dad, can I get you one? And he's drinking the shakes. Now, here's a man who was just too depressed to eat, and he's having the shakes, maybe one for sure, but maybe two a day. And I sometimes see him walking up and down the corridor of his house, getting a little bit of exercise back in. Is it because of the shakes? Is it because his will to live and survive and thrive has taken over once again? I don't know, but I know it is what it is. And so if I was to point out as to what the challenge has really, really, really done, it's about giving me my life in a way where I can have a different perspective altogether. New friends, greater contribution, because isn't that what it's all about? And so I want to leave you with one thought. This is probably for another video, but if any financial contribution comes out of me winning anything with regards to this challenge, I'd like to give it all to a charity that has to do with bullying. And again, that's for another story, but we've got something with Amanda Todd as a young 15-year-old who took her own life here in Canada, in British Columbia. And if you Google the story, actually, or YouTube it, Amanda Todd, you'll see the sadness of what prompts a 15-year-old girl to take her own life. For another video, but I was bullied as a kid. I can relate deep inside of the pain and suffering that can happen to a kid. And so if I was to win any of my winnings, I'll say it right here on this video, that happened as a result of me getting on stage right through with Ben Silverman. Whatever the monetary winnings are, I want to donate every cent to another cause outside of me. I'm making enough money with this company already. And I'd like to make that my contribution so that other people in the world of bullying and getting bullied, and so I think actually they're both victims, can be helped. And so that's for another story, but Body by Fi, the challenge, the shakes, it's just given me an entirely different perspective. And for that I am grateful, I'm thankful for the people that have come into my life as a result. Thanks so much.